I'm not here to be anyone's slave. Those were the words today from one of the most famous people on the planet, talking about pop superstar Britney Spears. She told a Los Angeles County judge that she is not okay, that she feels enslaved, traumatized, exploited, and controlled. She's been under a conservatorship for the past 13 years, her father and others controlling her finances and personal affairs, and now she wants out. ABC's Kaylee Hartung reports in from Los Angeles, where Britney Spears testified today in her conservatorship hearing.
Tonight, Britney Spears dropping a bombshell in court, telling a judge, "Ma'am, I'm not here to be anyone's slave." She's requesting the conservatorship that's controlled her life and finances for 13 years be terminated without any further psychiatric evaluation. During a 30-minute call into the virtual status hearing, Spears describing how her court-appointed conservators, as well as her family members, have exploited her life, traumatized her, and even forced her into a care facility against her will. Spears saying as she cried to her father, quote, to hurt his daughter, 100,000% he loved it. Telling the judge at one point her therapist put her on the powerful medication lithium, making her feel drunk. But when she told her parents she was scared, she says her family did nothing. Since she stopped performing, Spears has stayed largely silent until now. Her Instagram, the only insight into her well-being over the last 2 years.
Am I okay? Yes, I'm totally fine.
But Spears saying today, I've lied and told the whole world I'm okay, but it's a lie.
And we are joined now by Kaylee Hartung outside of the courtroom. Just stunning testimony today going into this hearing. We really didn't know what to expect exactly.
No, we didn't, Lindsay, but jaws were on the ground out here as we were listening into this video conference that didn't have any video of Britney, and we weren't allowed to record anything we heard because of the judge's ruling. So here we are trying to do our best we can to share with you what she said, because that statement from her, it was explosive. It was last year that her counsel had requested a status hearing like this in order to remove her father from his role in the conservatorship. But today, this date that's been circled on the calendar, finally here, finally a chance to hear from Britney herself, and we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what specific issues she would bring up, but she made it very clear right out of the gate. She feels like this conservatorship is abusive, like it has taken over too much control of her life. You said it. She says, I deserve a life. The detail that she went into describing how scared she's been, how her family has done nothing to help her, how she's been embarrassed. It was heartbreaking, quite honestly, to listen to the tone of her voice and the feelings that she conveyed, the judge saying that she hears her. Lindsay.
And that's likely one of the things that she wanted, was to be heard. We also heard from the lawyer for Britney's father, Jamie. What was the response there?
Yeah, right after this bombshell was dropped by Britney, we heard from her father's attorney reading a very short statement on his behalf. He said he's sorry to hear that his daughter is in so much pain. Mr. Spears loves his daughter and misses her very much. And that was all we heard from Jamie Spears' side. There was no rebuttal, no denial of anything that Britney said, just that short, to-the-point apology. Now, he is a co-conservator along with Jody Montgomery. Jody Montgomery's counsel speaking up on behalf of the conservatorship, saying they do disagree with some of the things that Britney said, but said this is not the time or the place to take up those details. That will be discussed at a later date. Lindsay.
And Britney Spears has now made it very clear that she does not want to be a part of this conservatorship. So what happens next?
And she doesn't want to be a part of this conservatorship, and she doesn't want any further psychiatric evaluation to be a part of the judge's determination of her future under this conservatorship. So quite honestly, Lindsay, it's unclear what happens next. There was a lot of discussion of dates that need to be put on the calendar for the next hearing and the next and the next. It seems like this is just the beginning of a long process. This has already been 13 years of Britney Spears' life under the control of this conservatorship without her own control over her life and finances. You can only imagine she wants this done expediently. The judge seeming to recognize the time-sensitive nature here as Britney made her pleas, but we heard dates need to be put on the calendar for future hearings, and none of those dates were decided today. But one of the big questions that will also need to be answered as we learn of those further status hearings, Lindsay, is will these hearings be public in any way? Like we were able to listen in today, there was an argument made by the conservatorship side that these should not be public, but we'll see.
And Britney Spears sounded like she wanted it to be public, again, wanting to get her words out there. And Kaylee, you were also outside of the courthouse today speaking with some of Britney's loyal fans. We saw those Free Britney signs. Tell us about your conversations and their reaction.
Yeah, Lindsay, Lindsay, every one of the people here supporting Britney today, you talk to them, they will tell you a story about how Britney Spears has impacted their life. I spoke to one young man who said, I've been a fan since day one, since I was 7 years old. And he said, I'm not trying to exaggerate here, but she saved my life. He described dark times in his life where listening to his music helped pull him out of those holes. And he said, she saved my life. He said, this is how I can repay that debt to her, showing her my unending support. He said, we are not leaving until she is set free. And we never expected to get a ruling from the judge today, but you could hear the cheers out here, Lindsay, among the Free Britney movement gathered as she demanded an end to this conservatorship. She minced no words in saying how it's made her felt and the damage that it's done to her life. The people here today to support her want her free, and they were so pleased to hear her stand up for herself today and tell the judge exactly how she feels. Lindsay.
And the fans, they're saying that they are in this for the long haul. Kaylee Hartung, our thanks to you. And